I still can't believe she said that. I'm going, is this happening? So the next day, Abby had a round table and they discussed the slavery and what Jillian Michaels said and whatever. And they were still trying to justify numbers and what Donald Trump is trying to do as far as whitewashing the museums and the whole bit and taking slavery out. And they were still trying to say, and then Batia, who is she comes on, Abby, a lot. She always comes with statistics, okay? So she has all these numbers and saying that the reason why this Donald Trump is trying to do this because there became a rise in certain terms and words, and she called it the progressive left, the white progressive left had this interest in white supremacy and was trying to, and all of a sudden they were interested in it and they were abusing it or whatever. But here's what's happened, dear Batya. What's happened is why there's a rise in words. So she went through and she counted. The Washington Post mentioned white supremacy this many times. The New York Times mentioned it this many times. And she was comparing it to one year and another. You know what you're comparing that to? What I compare that to? It's not the fact that it wasn't there. What you're comparing that to is we weren't talking, but now we're talking. Makes sense? She's comparing us. So Abby called her good. So you're trying to compare back when we were in Jim Crow South, when we couldn't do anything. They weren't using the words, but there's been a rise now. So that's supposed to have been a good thing? Well, no, I'm not saying. Well, yeah, you did. You pretty much are saying that there's been a rise in words being used and printed. White supremacy, slavery, DEI, whatever. All these words are being used. But you know what that is? I'll say it again, dear Batia. It is people are starting to talk about it. And we need to. Until we have the conversation about race in America, it's never going to change. It's going to be a nasty conversation, but somebody's going to sit down and listen. Listen, comprehend, and understand. Some of you will never get it because it's so inbred and bound in your head about, racism and the whole bit. Some of you will never get it, but who knows? Yeah. So that's where we are with the whole thing on slavery in America. And I cannot believe that Trump tweeted that out. He tweeted or whatever he did, social posted it out about going through the Smithsonian and removing anything about slavery, so to speak. That scares me, guys. That really does alarm and scare me. So, this is where we are. So, in the other part of this whole podcast today, all right, so anyone is that, let me stop that. I'm sorry. Is we're talking about something bigger than politics. We're talking about trust. Trust in numbers. Trust in the truth. And trust in institutions that keep our democracy honest. Trump is messing with this stuff. Yeah. It's like on the economy. This bad. On the economy under Trump administration, we've seen a direct attack on the integrity of our economic data. Just in August, President Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor, right? Simply because the jobs report showed lower growth and large downward revisions in previous month. No evidence of wrongdoing, no scandal, just numbers he didn't like. And now he's nominating an ideological guy who has called official job numbers phony. And who wants to stop releasing, the monthly jobs report data altogether.